In other words, this is the night I want to misbehave. Tonight's the night.
Opportunity of a lifetime.
There are still people watching.
Oh, hi, Chris. What?
You can find them anytime.
No.
Chris is hiding in the back recording everything.
Chris is in the back.
She wasn't lying.
Well, I didn't really pay attention to what she said until I heard somebody else in there. Selected here. Live streaming, just perhaps? Okay. Okay, I'll be there the first few times. Yeah.
Leliebre. Lilia. Yeah, that's good. You know, better than Margaret.
I say it different every single time. Sorry.
I just use the translation.
Lelièvre, Leliebre, it's all close enough.
Let's go to the answer first. So good evening. We'll call the meeting to order. Moved by Councilor Wu, seconded by Councilor Dunno. Resolved that the regular meeting commence at the hour of 7:01 p.m. All in favor? Opposed? None carried. So, councilors, there's our item number 2. There are 2 additions to the agenda that we're hoping you'll approve. So, the first one would be the community transportation grant, which would go under 14-02. And the second one is the water freeze-up issues, which would go under 1403. So moved by Councilor Rule, seconded by Councilor Plummer. Resolved that the agenda be approved as amended. Questions or comments? All in favor? Opposed? None? Carried? Item number 3, disclosure of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof. There are two. Please.
Declaration of pecuniary interest from Councilor Ed Dunnell for council meeting date February 14th, 2018, closed session. I declare pecuniary interest on agenda item number 1604, closed agenda item number 0504 of the agenda for the above noted meeting for the following reason. The closed meeting material relating to agenda item 0504 could be used as an exhibit for an addendum to the existing application record on file with Divisional Court. The second, pecuniary interest declared by Councilor Raymond Laliev. Council meeting date February 14th, 2018, closed session. I declare pecuniary interest on agenda item number 1604, close open session. 1604 regular session, closed agenda item 0504. CAO performance review update, my spouse.
You?
Yeah.
Item number 5. Delegation and presentations, there are none. Item number 6, adoption of minutes. Moved by Councilor Rule, seconded by Councilor Dunnell. Resolved that the minutes of the special meeting held on January the 10th, 2018 are adopted as circulated. Questions or comments? All in favor? Opposed? None? Carried? Number 2, moved by Councilor Plummer, seconded by Councilor Rule. Resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting held on January 10th, 2018 are adopted as circulated. Questions or comments? All in favor? Opposed? None? Carried? Item number 7, petition, there is none. Number 8, disbursement. Moved by Councilor Dunnell, seconded by Councilor Plummer. Resolved that disbursement sheet number 2018-02, $485,487.15, as provided to council for information purposes only. Questions or comments? All in favor? Opposed? None? Carried? Item number nine, correspondence, moved by Councilor Rule, seconded by Councilor Dunnell. Resolved that correspondence item number 0901 to 0903 be received and filed. Questions or comments on this? Yes, Councilor Yes.
I'll bring back 02.
02 under new business. So it will be 1404. So resolve that correspondence item 0901 to 0903 be received and filed, and be further resolved that agenda 0902 be returned to council under new business for the meeting of February 14, 2018. All in favor? Opposed? None? Carried. Item number 10, reports and committees. 1001, moved by Councilor Plummer, seconded by Councilor Yev. Resolved that the minutes of the meeting of the Manitowoc Municipal Housing Corporation held November 29, 2017 be accepted as received. Questions or comments? All in favor? Opposed? None? Carried. Item number 2, moved by Councilor Rule, seconded by Councilor Yev. Resolved that the minutes of the meeting of the Manitowoc Public Library Board held December 5th, 2017 be accepted as received. Questions or comments? All in favor? Opposed? None? Carried. Item number 3, moved by Councilor Yev, seconded by Councilor Plummer. Resolved that the minutes of the meeting of the Thunder Bay District Board of Health held December 13, 2017 be accepted as received. Questions or comments? All in favor? Opposed? None? Carried. Item 4, moved by Councilor Rule, seconded by Councilor Dunnell. Resolved that the minutes of the meeting of the Thunder Bay District Social Service Administration Board inaugural board meeting held January 4, 2018 in bracket regular be accepted as received. Questions or comments? All in favor? Opposed? None? Carried. Item number 11, verbal update. Most of it is information only. I'm still working towards setting up meetings with councils for both the Pic River First Nation and the Pic Movert First Nation. So far, Chief Michano of the Pic River sent a message back on Tuesday and is working towards a date for our council-to-council meeting. Along with Chief Joanna Desmoulin of Pic Movert, I'm still working on setting up a meeting with her so we can set an agenda for any possibility that she may want. So this is where we are right now for these two areas. The second item, as you know, the existing maintenance contractor for Highway 614 is in difficulty at this time, and the MTO will be probably looking at the replacement for this. And you're aware that most residents are not very happy with winter maintenance. There's all kinds of comments all over the place. So just as a matter of interest, I've asked Mike Manta if he could provide me with a copy of last year's contract, if that's possible, and also what the criteria are for bidding on contracts. And it's just more interest that we're showing because we're always complaining about our highway, so we have to come forward with the possibility that, we may want to do something. It may not be practical, but it's just something of interest. Also, Margaret and I are having a meeting with the MTO tomorrow morning concerning this same matter and letting them know our concerns and what we'd like to see in that regard. So hopefully that goes well. The last item I have, again, as we move forward with the NWMO Learn More program, and our CLC now has 11 members as approved by council at the last meeting, I would hope that our next step forward, I would like to approach the CLC with your approval for the possibility of live streaming these meetings, so that we have a possibility of a broader audience. We can show our residents where we are at. There are some, especially a lot of older people, are not as mobile, so I think that would be a great addition to that unless council has a reservation on it. Do I have any comments on this? Can I mention it to the CLC?
I think so.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I would also like to know that we're still having technical difficulties, and we can, if they agree to it in the future, when we get all these resolved, it won't be in the next meeting. It's most likely not going to be the next meeting, or just don't guarantee the date because we're still struggling to get all the bells and whistles working out for ourselves.
Yeah, my date really is to ask them at their next meeting, which is next month. Therefore, there should be some time, some leeway there. And I'm sure we're not going to live stream on the date that I'm asking for their permission. It'll be the next meeting. So we're talking probably 2 months down the road. So, someone here is smiling. He has time.
Chris is in the back.
He's smiling more. Any questions or comments on these other points? Thank you. Number 12, verbal update by CEO Clerk Treasurer.
So through the chair, I just have a couple of items. I'm sure you're all aware that our frozen water lines have increased exponentially in the last couple of weeks. Mr. Barnes will be talking about that further when his addition to the agenda comes forward. Be assured that we're doing everything we can as fast as we can, and ask council to remember that we're actually short 2 full-time employees from what we were the last time this happened 3 years ago because of Aqua. So while those 2 people were designated for water, they did the bulk of this work. So when you take other people from the public works force to deal with this, you're leaving your crew even shorter. And we've been short for the better part of 6 months now. So if you take that all into consideration, we're doing everything that we can do. Skateboard park update. We met with Cody and Brad Law. It's been determined that they're not an official committee in any capacity, so there's no legal requirement for council to enter into an agreement, and there's nothing that would hold them to anything because they're just individuals rather than a committee with a board and executive. So we have reached an understanding, and they have been in touch touch with the designer now, so they're starting to move forward with getting that work done. The last item I have, you may have heard on the radio, the timing of Daryl's announcement doesn't match our council meetings, but the LNG project is proceeding, and they're proceeding with the stage 2 of the NOHFC application. Apparently they have the eyes and ears of the ministry, and they are actively looking for that phase 2 application so that they could review it next week. So unless council wants to approve a resolution to send a letter of support as a result of this verbal update, it will be brought back to the next council meeting for exactly that, a request for a letter of support be sent. And that's all I have.
Margaret, do we have time for the letter of support? Is it because I thought they were putting in their application right away?
Yeah, we sent an email out just saying that we're still in support of this project because
Okay.
there's been no decision by council to change that stance. So now it's just a formality for the letter. So the email for now will meet the needs of the application. So like I say, council can either pass a resolution tonight to do that, or I'll bring it back next week and we'll just send the letter. Next council meeting, we'll send it in 2 weeks, whatever council's desire is.
So council, we'll wait till next council meeting for Margaret to bring it back up. There's no timeline, so we're fine with that. Okay, thank you. Yes, Councilor.
If I may, I have a question about these tip run park. Was I an executive on behalf of the club itself? We have no one to, as you pointed out, sign the agreement with. I'm lost. Where are we?
It's actually, we need their expertise, through the chair, we need their expertise. We know absolutely nothing as staff about designing and building a skate park. I mean, we're older people with, not grandkids in that age bracket, so we definitely need their expertise. Their role is going to be in the designing and consulting phase. Once we get to the construction phase, then it becomes the responsibility of the municipality. And Shauna will be managing that project in consultation with Owen to make sure that all the building codes and zoning codes are met. So they've been given carte blanche and a budget based on what they presented to council originally for the design phase. If they save money, they've got a little more money for building more things, but that's what their role is right now. The expectation is most likely not going to get built until 2019. So, the delay on the survey over there has significantly delayed that project, where we might have had it built in 18, and we won't see that built until 19.
It was always understood with the group that the project, even though they would be counseling us on it, it was always understood that the project was the municipality's project and it would stay within the municipality, and that really hasn't changed, and they're agreeing with that, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So. Okay. Yes, Councilor.
Just further question on that. So there's nothing we can do to help them make this happen this year?
What they can do is they can, and when I talked to them, I said, get the design phase done as quickly as you can, and then talk to the contractor. They're short of funds right now. It's minimal. It's about $10,000. So, the grand scheme of things, that's not a lot of money. If it is delayed till next year, that gives them lots of opportunity to raise that $10,000. For a build this summer, they might not be able to achieve that. We didn't discuss it. It hasn't been an option at this point.
Yes, Councilor. Yeah.
Through the chair, we're getting an estimate right now for the build, and if we postpone another year, I can see that estimate go up, like always.
Through the chair, they've been given their budget, and in one of the emails from Cody, he has told the company this is the budget.
Okay.
So they're building based on the budget they know they have, and that's the 260 plus HST that they presented to council. So that's what they're going with.
You think
And I think the the delay right now is really not on our part anymore. It's on the contractor's part. I think that they have their hands full for this summer, and that's what they're relaying back to us.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, Councilor Dunn?
Through the chair, is it too late in the process to possibly reconsider a different location for the street park? Some members of the community were suggesting that we use the arena once the ice leaves, and if it's made out of plywood or whatever, it can be installed and taken out the following fall.
The project has been studied thoroughly. It has been by the group themselves in consultation with the people that are going to be using the project. And the cement part is really what they want. A wooden part will not work for them. It's been tried in other places. It becomes dangerous after a while. There's a safety issue and there's a maintenance issue with that. Also, we've studied the area where we want to have that, and according to staff and then the group itself, that's the best area. There was another one, preferred area, but we could not get a hold of the land for it. So I think reconsideration is pretty well out of the question at this time. Okay?
I'll pass that message on.
Thank you. Any other question? Item number 13, bylaws. Moved by Councillor Plummer, seconded by Councillor Rule. Being a bylaw to authorize a lease agreement with Her Majesty the Queen in Right of Ontario, as represented by the Minister of Infrastructure for a portion of the building located at 40 Manitou Road, plant number M163, PT Black H Road, or RP, 55R 8128, Part 1. Matt Waj, be read the first and second time. Who's presenting this? Yes. Okay.
So through the chair, council's aware that we purchased 40 Manitou a year and a half ago, almost 2 years now. We have been struggling to get a lease with Service Ontario. Part of the problem was we as a municipality weren't able to commit based on the timeline for the Golden Age Club making the move, and we didn't know when that was going to happen. They have been extremely, extremely patient with us in this, and we've gotten to the point where we've reached an agreement where we're going to have a 2-year term. This one expires the end of September 2018. Should the Golden Age Club make the move prior to that, for whatever reason, this agreement can be reviewed because council's aware that we're looking at moving Service Ontario to a different part of that building. This addresses the back rent because they have not paid rent there since we assumed ownership of the building, so that's addressed in here. There are other things such as hydro. We will have to install a new meter for them to pay the hydro, so we want to do that when they move. So there are certain things that will change once they make the move and the Golden Age Club is ready to move in. But this will get us to the end of this September when we may have a better idea where we are with the Golden Age Club and that building. So with council's approval, we'll sign this document and return it to them.
Questions, comments? Councillor Blummer?
Thank you, Bishop. I don't know this is with Service Ontario. What about the other tenants?
Through the chair, we don't actually have a lease with them, but they are paying rent.
Okay. Another thing too, if I may. I sense there's a lot of unknowns here, especially with the seniors. Would it mean to our advantage to set a date, a move-in date, or a time frame?
Through the chair, we've addressed this a couple of times with council, and I actually attended the seniors meeting on Monday just as a member and got put in the hot seat. What's holding us up now is bathrooms and handicapped access for the building. Owen and I talked this week, and I think you told me about $65,000.
We have a grant
Yeah.
funding is up to over 80,000 to do that. Still waiting for any like that.
So that's what's holding us up from them to physically move in. That work needs to be done. Not all the bells and whistles, and they understand that after Monday's meeting. You know, having the kitchen done and the hood fans, and that will come later. But in order to get them in, we need the washrooms and the doors. I guess there's at some point, if we hear we don't get the funding, we come back to council to see what their decision is. And if we do hear that we've got the funding, we'll move as fast as we can to get that work done.
Is there any indication of when the answer is coming? They don't give us any?
No, I've asked Jolene, she's inquired a few times for us and no response yet.
Through the chair, there's not even a phone number that you can call. But what I will do is I'll start contacting our MPPs and say, can you please intervene or do something or get us a date, because we have a project that's been pending this application. It's crazy waiting on that.
Because even so, once we get the money, then we have to wait for a contractor and so on, so you're talking a long time yet. Yes, Councillor Rule?
So 2 questions. Point of clarification. Did you say you're a member of the government?
Point of order?
Can you explain the red and I know the yellow is the in the map. Yes. The yellow is the Service Ontario, right? And what's the pink?
Where they are now, yes.
So the pink and red is where they're going?
They're going to be going, do you know where the insurance agency is now?
Yes.
Okay, so right across the hall from that is sort of what I'm gathering used to be a garage, and it's just sort of a store all now, you know, with all the paints and doors, and we actually, the lawyer is right in the corner there, so we're going to move them to the front foyer, and they're all on board with this too. So what it does is it opens up a whole back portion for the seniors and gives them more square footage.
Yes, Councillor?
Through the chair, when our CAO says they're all on board, I spoke with staff for Service Ontario, and I don't believe they're on board with this. They're actually somewhat frustrated at the fact that they may need to have to move to postage stamp size office. I support their concerns because they're established the way they are right now, and unless they have stated otherwise, the last conversation I had with them, they were disappointed if we accept anything like this.
Councillor, first of all, we are not dealing with the local people on something like this. If they are not made aware by their head office, that's between them and not between us. It has nothing to do with us. So if they have concern, they should contact their supervisor. Yes.
Looking at the diagram here and measured out the areas to the scale that's been provided, they currently have a office space there of approximately 150 plus square feet, which is just comfortable enough for them to operate. According to the proposed smaller area, it only has 25 square feet. And that's very, very compressed area.
That's fine, but again, I don't know what the measurements are, but this has been something that has been talked about by their head office. Therefore, they would be comfortable with this. Otherwise, they would have to voice their opinion to our CEO. So, is there anything else to add, Margaret?
Through the chair, ORC has been involved in this project right from the beginning, with Owen and I both having multiple discussions and conference calls with them. And ORC is very aware of the area, and the mayor is correct. It's ORC who has looked at it, and it's them who has agreed to it.
Any other questions or comments? Okay.
I would like to record a vote on this when we post the vote.
And furthermore, be read a third time, pass a number as bylaw number 2018-03. Recorded vote.
Councillor Edward Dunnell,
Against.
Councillor Raymond Lulave,
For.
Councillor Sheldon Plummer,
Aye.
Councillor Peter Rule,
For.
Mayor Andy Major.
4. Thank you. Carried.
Can I ask-
Yes,
can I
Councillor.
ask one more question regarding it? Did you say they haven't paid rent since we bought it?
Correct, because ORC doesn't pay without a lease.
So they'll pay back, they'll obviously
Yes.
pay back.
Yes, and
Okay.
that's in the agreement. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it's, sorry, through the chair, it's been as a result of us being able to guarantee them they want a longer term lease. We try to negotiate a month by month, and ORC just doesn't negotiate month by month leases, nor do they pay pending a lease. So we will get back pay from September.
And just as a reminder, I recall that our CEOs informed council of this, that we need the lease to get paid, so it did take a while, but as she says, it's our commitment to that.
Excuse me, Your Worship.
Yeah.
Just for clarification, ORC is Ontario Realty Corporation.
I believe it's ORC.
Yeah.
Okay.
that we've been dealing. There's a couple of different names that the departments are all working with, but it's the ministry. In the end of the day, it's
Yeah.
government.
Last time I met was Ontario Realty.
Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify it in case someone didn't know what ORC meant.
I'm sorry, Mr. Karen, do you comment?
One extra comment maybe from the health council is that there was not a standalone lease for Service Ontario. They were under the M&R's lease in that building. So we kind of started from scratch. It's not like we had a previous working lease and we just changed the names and moved forward. There's a lot of work to get for that building.
Thank you. Okay. So we're on to item number 2, or 1302. Moved by Councillor Dunnell, seconded by Councillor Liev. Being a bylaw to authorize the execution of the terms of reference for the Nuclear Waste Community Liaison Committee, and to repeal bylaw number 2013-12, be read a first and second time. Margaret, please.
Through the chair, we had sort of made a commitment to council that once we knew that we were not going to be excluded in the last round of the site selection, we determined that at that point we would review the terms of reference. In addition to council's last resolution where they wanted to increase the members on that board, it was definitely time. There's been very little change to the existing terms of reference other than updating some of the terms that are in there. There have been some changes that make it now in compliance with our procedural bylaw. There was no provision for agenda, how an agenda would be outlined, how meetings would be held, who put items on the agenda. So now, based on what we have in our procedural bylaw for an ad hoc committee, this mirrors it. If council approves it tonight, I will arrange for a meeting with the chair and then subsequently with the CLC to review the terms of reference with them.
Question or comments? I'm assuming everyone has read the terms of reference. Yes, Councillor Rule?
So is this something we, in nature of relationship and building a relationship for the furtherance of our community, is this something we want to not pass, but give a kind of thumbs up and then have a dialogue with them rather than saying, this is a done deal, let's do this?
Through the chair, it's a committee of council. Council sets the terms.
I understand that. I'm just asking what is there a possibility we can make an exception for the furtherance of our community, and this is such a great project. For example, one of the things I'm concerned about is agenda. It is a learn more process. It is trying to engage the community. And introducing a closed session thing like we do here, because that group usually has a good attendance. And to stop halfway through and say, okay, crowd, get out, may not be conducive if we follow that type of arrangement.
Through the chair, they would have to meet the requirements under the Municipal Act in order to do that, and it is very highly unlikely they would ever meet that criteria. But it is in our procedural bylaw for an ad hoc committee, which is what the CLC is. So we need to include it. We can't exclude it. But like I say, they would have to meet all of the terms or any of the terms and conditions set out in the Municipal Act. And I can't think of a time that they would ever have that instance.
And a lot of the stuff that's included in there, we really don't have any choice unless we change our procedure bylaw, because it is part of it. And as a committee of council, it has to be part of it. Yes, Councillor?
Under financial, all accounting shall be centralized. Is that new?
No, to the chair, no. And we do that. We keep the books for the CLC and the Learn More process.
I was reflecting back on the conversation we had a couple of weeks ago. Something about moving the finances under.
They always were.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think that, through the chair, I think that might have been Norman, who's still learning what we do here. But we have always done the books for the CLC. The only thing we don't do is things that the CLC pays for not the CLC, sorry, NWMO pays for directly. We don't have any control over that.
Which is very little now, because things have been changed, and with our new representative, Norman Sandberg, he is really moving towards what we'd like to see here. So things are being consolidated a lot more. So really, there's not a whole lot. What we may have heard, Councillor, is the fact that we are talking about the possibility of the CLC having their own budget. But having their own budget does not mean that they look after their own finance.
That may have been the confusion.
Through the chair, I can give you an example. The last tour that council went on with the CLC, some of the expense claims came here, some went to the CLC office. Nobody was really making sure that they complied with our policy from the CLC end. So now everything will come through this office. It will comply with our policies. Mr. Sandberg has agreed to that. So it's certainly going to streamline things in the long run.
Yes, Councillor Wu?
So just for commentary for me, I just, through the chair, I caution the timing based on the last thing we just did. And so that's just my commentary, that I think we should make sure that PR work is done properly in this for the furtherance of our community. This project is pretty big, and we want to have relationships with this committee. So I would just advise, in my comment, that we do some strong PR work to make sure both our council and that committee can work together well and not give any perception that we're not working together. And the last thing we just proposed to them, and basically it's being put on them, this could become another thing that they feel there. And I haven't talked to anybody. I'm just telling you that if I was in this situation, I'd feel like I'm being put on this stuff on me. And that's not good for this project of this size for our future. So I'll leave it at that, but that's my thoughts.
Thank you, Councillor. Any other questions or comments? Okay.
Your Worship, I'm sorry, I do have one. It's more editorial. If I could meet with you maybe tomorrow. It doesn't change context or meaning or anything of that nature.
Through the chair, the one thing that I did want council to, and I wanted to make sure that council was aware of, was the definition of student in there, and that council was in agreement to that definition, because that is new. Well, we have Noah Rule, who is considered our youth student rep. We didn't have a provision for that in the original terms of reference, but he has been integrated into the committee as such. So now that it's in our it's in our terms of reference that there shall be a student, is council on board with the definition that has been suggested? And I would also ask council's indulgence that it's my understanding that Mr. Rowe will probably be leaving for school in the fall, that we don't replace him at this point until next fall.
Questions? Okay. Everyone's fine with it? Thank you. And furthermore, be read a third time, passing number is bylaw number 2018-04. All in favor? Opposed? None? Carried. Item number 1401, moved by Councilor Rule, seconded by Councilor Liev. Resolved that the Council of the Corporation of Township of Manitowoc does hereby appoint. First of all, we have to talk about Councilor Rule's resignation letter. So this is part of your agenda, and his letter states that he, for reasons stated there, that he wishes to resign. So we must thank Councillor Rule for all this time that he has spent the past 3 years on the board, and I'm sure everybody realizes that it's all volunteer done. But it's also very important. So thank you very much, Councilor Rule, and I think that deserves a small letter of appreciation from Council. Thank you. So move on to the next step. Moved by Councilor. Okay. Moved by Councilor Plummer, seconded by Councilor Dunno. Resolved that Council accepts the Councilor Rule's decision to vacate the seat as with Municipal Housing Corporation, and further that a letter be written to Councilor Rule thanking him for his time with the board. All in favor? Opposed? None? Carried. Thank you. So the next step, moved by Councilor Rule, seconded by Councilor Yev, resolve the council for the Corporation of Township of Manitowoc does hereby appoint the following council member to sit on the Manitowoc Municipal Housing Corporation, concurrent with their present terms in office as follows. Questions or comments? Yes, Councilor?
Thank you, Your Worship. We are now in the last months of our term, and as we all know, the members of council are appointed for the term only. They don't carry over. We have, being on the board, we have roughly 6 meetings left in our term, if you will. To my knowledge, there's nothing earth-shattering coming down the pipes. The board functioned for a long time, and I mean a long time, almost 2 years, with 4 members. Personally, I don't see a need to fill the seat for the duration of this term.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Yes, Councilor?
Through the chair, should we at least try to advertise to see if there's somebody may be willing to want to sit on that committee?
First of all, let me say that I'm putting my name forward to fill the vacancy. No, we should not put anything forward for that because it has to be a councillor representative and not someone from at large. So I'm putting my name forward to replace. Yes.
Through the chair. We already have one member of council sitting on the committee. Does the bylaw state that we need to have 2?
The bylaw states that we have to have 2, yes.
Up to 2.
Up to 2.
And we've had 2. We've always had 2. Any other comment? No, it's seconded already. So resolve the council for the Corporation of Township of Manitowoc does hereby appoint the following council member to sit on the Manitowoc Municipal Housing Corporation, concurrent with their present term of office as follows. Andy Major. All in favor? Opposed? None? Carried. Item number 1402. Moved by Councilor Rule, seconded by Councilor Plummer. Resolved that council is in receipt of administration report number TR 2018-03, submitted by Margaret Hartling, CEO, Clerk Treasurer, regarding the Community Transportation Grant Program. Speak on that, please, Margaret.
Through the chair, I was approached by Jocelyn Burgoyne, the hospital CAO, regarding this grant. It was something that originally we didn't look at as the township because we don't operate this program, but the hospital does. They have a van right now that is going to need replaced probably within the next year. Unfortunately, they are not eligible to apply for this funding. It's a municipal program. So we've been asked to partner with this project and make the application on their behalf. The plan is that they will continue to administer the program as they do now, and we will apply for the funding. So council is in agreement with this. I will be setting up meetings with Lee Krinski, manager of the family health team, and we will have this done. The deadline is February 28th, so I apologize for the lateness of this and the addition to the agenda. Deadline's 5 o'clock. We would not have had time to do it. 28th is a council meeting. The deadline would have passed by the time of the next council meeting, and it wasn't worth calling a special meeting for it. So my report outlines the highlights of the program. There's lots of financial information that the hospital is going to have to provide, so it's going to be a bit of a task to get this completed. So we'll leave it at that.
Questions? Yes, Councilor Plummer.
Thank you, Your Worship. if we apply for the funding and are successful, it's a replacement of the van. Am I right?
That's part of it.
Who owns the van?
That would be discussed. In all likelihood, it would become our vehicle because we're applying for the funding. But we'd have to read into the program better to see whether they can buy it or we can lease it, or right now we're just in the early stages of applying for the funding, which we may not get. Those logistics can all be figured out after the fact.
Yes, Councillor O'Donnell?
Through the chair, with regards to the second statement of the financial implications, it states that there must be a contribution to the project, but that can also be done through in-kind contributions. What kind of in-kind contributions are they looking at?
Through the chair, we haven't done the financials yet, but what could happen is the hospital currently manages that program. They have staff who do that or volunteers who do that. That could be in kind. Perhaps we might be responsible for the maintenance or the insurance of the vehicle if it's determined that we own the vehicle. Right now, we haven't got all those logistics figured out, but we will put an in-kind component being volunteer and staff time at the hospital. We're relying heavily on the hospital to provide financials.
In other words, there's no sense in doing any more work until we find out whether we get the grant or not. Yes, Councillor.
Through the chair, will there be any liabilities or financial consequences coming back onto our taxpayers as a result of entering into this agreement?
Through the chair, it's not my expectation, but this is definitely a joint effort between us and the hospital, and it's for the benefit of the residents. So, if there was some small financial implication down the road, I would suggest that perhaps council would be okay with that as long as it wasn't exorbitant.
Yes, Councillor Wu?
This program is an absolute asset to our community. I mean, other people prior to this with no handicap taxi, our taxi program does not offer handicap. So some residents in the past have had to use ambulance for simple doctor appointments, not emergencies, and that's not a good use of ambulance services either. So this is an asset to our community. If we can do anything, even if it costs a fraction, a small amount for us as a municipality to help this move forward, it's small money in comparison to what the need is there. So it's an asset.
Yes, Councillor Levine?
Through the chair, cahoots to you for driving that unit around.
I didn't. No, I'm just kidding.
No, and that could be part of the volunteer or whatever.
There is a small bump on the rear.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't do that. That's what I was going to say. I didn't do that.
So I'd just like to acknowledge. So
Just for your information, I was a little bit apprehensive on that because I thought that maybe it would take some business away from our taxis, but then I've been informed, as you just mentioned, that our taxis do not have wheelchair accessibility, so we are not taking anything away from a local business. Any other comments?
No,
Okay.
through the chair, I just want to say that it's good that we're helping out as much as we possibly can. And a little bump that Councillor Rule said, is there financial implications to that?
Thank you, Bishop. I seem to think there was some partnership with Marathon on the initial van, was there not? I don't even know how that van came into existence.
Okay, so just a clarification, the van did come to us in partnership with Marathon. Marathon did apply for a grant and secured a second vehicle for us. So we have this vehicle here on their generosity, right? And so to continue this going, I guess the hospital's needing us to share some generosity too.
The reality is if we don't get this funding, that service may not be here because the hospital doesn't have the means to be able to do this. So if we can assist by at least making the application on their behalf, that's small.
If me, I just want to clarify, if Marathon was partnering with us again, I don't know.
Not on this specific
Right.
project, no. It doesn't mean that they couldn't expand the scope of it because it is a 5-year program. It needs to be sustainable for the full 5 years. So should the hospital down the road decide that they want to expand it, that's certainly under their purview.
Thank you.
Okay. And be it further resolved that upon conclusion of council's review and consideration, direct staff as follows. Council approves partnering with Sante Manitowoc Health in a grant application for the Community Transportation Grant Program. All in favor? Opposed? None carried. Item number Community Transportation Grant, Water Freedom. Do you have a resolution on that? Okay. Okay. So item number 1403 is going to be presented by Randy concerning water freeze-ups and whatever else is happening in town.
Point of order, is that Mr. Barnes to you?
Good evening, Your Worship, members of council. I had a discussion earlier this week with concerning regarding some of the issues we're having with frozen lines in the municipality. This initially, the issue came up Friday in the afternoon in the Shenandoah Drive, just behind the Mr. office here. Second issue came up on Monday in Kane for both locations for water main, specifically for not a common occurrence by any means with water mains themselves. We do have common occurrence of individual water services freeze half-inch and three-quarters lines between individual residences and buildings in the municipality. It's fairly uncommon to have actually water mains themselves freeze. Water mains typically with low grades or for the most part very deep enough that the top doesn't impact it. We've had not normal winter so far this season. We don't have a lot of snow cover, and we've had consistent cold for weeks on end. Frost levels in the road base when we were digging today were at about the 6 foot mark. So anywhere from 5 feet to 7 feet in the ground. Water main in the inlet area is a 4-inch water main with plastic. Exploded, and there's no more toiletries or any supply water by that main on that street. Every house on that street takes units from somewhere else to the residence. The entire length of the street everywhere in the cul-de-sac. The water main went at the center inlet to the main. One of the reasons the situation arose. Finding this style of water main is a bit challenging. One is it's a plastic line. Two, it's a 4-inch, so it's not a large line. There's no access to steam for the conventional residential water line. There is a meter line on that main, but access to the different also. Conventional way has been remedy the problem for the big main. To do that. Presently, this time of the year, we certainly do it. In the summer months, if we had to dig the main and replace it, we could certainly do that. But this time of the year, until after Christmas, we decided to not do anything. Doing some research, I found that the recommended way to thaw a water main through the street is with a ground thawing unit. I've done some research over the last 2 days to find out what the options are. And we provided 2 very
Any questions, comments? Yes, Councilor Yeb?
Couple of questions. High cost on the rental, would they consider putting that rental towards their purchase price? Did you talk about that?
Sure, yeah. One of the rental companies I spoke to, and this is the one that's giving me the rental prices in front of me, which is sort of the lower end of my quotes. The unit that they're talking about proposing to rent to us is a new unit, and it's not, they haven't appreciated enough that they would be able to sell it. That one's not available. There was another one that is available, at a higher cost and higher purchase price. So any savings that we may realize in the rental only purchase we would put it up to them.
Yes, Councilor Dunno?
Through the chair, can you describe this ground heater? Because if the temperatures start to plummet again down to the minus 30s, wouldn't it be just useless just trying to heat the ground while it's still
So this you see is a glycol heated ground here. Roughly 4,000 feet, 3,000 feet of three-quarter inch holes. It's heated glycol. The glycol is usually 180 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's 1 kg glycol a day. It goes right under the grid pattern and they're covered with insulated pipes. Keeps the heat down, and the heat will actually penetrate into the ground. It's not a quick process. Today will create the heat to penetrate maybe 2 to 3 feet into the ground in a day. In a day will be minus 30 temperatures, and then we'll get a foot of penetration. So it depends on how many numbers you're putting. It also depends on the ground, what kind of ground it's on.
I think, Randy, what he's asking is what will stop it from freezing again? I'm assuming you're going to put bleeder on it?
Well, yeah, for sure. Once the line has been thawed, we can put a bleeder on the line to keep it from freezing again.
Yes.
Through the chair. So this will be a surface application. They're not going to be getting down, intersect the water line and try and fall out that way. It'll actually just be a no-dig surface application.
Excuse me, Councilor Dunno. Could you speak into the mic so that everybody can hear you?
Do I need to repeat everything?
No.
Okay. My question to Mr. Barnes is, it's my understanding that this is a service application, not through the existing frozen line or a feed, like a mouse or anything feeding through. It's just blanketed over. Hopefully the radiant heat will go down far enough to thaw the line up.
Exactly. It's heat penetration.
Yes.
As I said, sometimes you have to wait several days for penetration to go down, depending on, say, on ground conditions and regular temperatures. You put your grid down, you run your heater unit, you cover it, as I said, with insulated piping, and over time, depending on the conditions, the radiant heat thaws the line.
Any other question? Yes, Councilor Rule?
I respect your expertise on this and stuff, so I'm just not trying to micromanage or anything. But I just wonder if are there other communities nearby that would have this that we could borrow from them? And two questions, I guess.
I'm not aware of any specific communities, smaller communities that have this type of thing, or Marathon doesn't have this kind of thing. Different ground conditions in Marathon, so their issues aren't the same as ours are maybe. I did talk to a couple of contractors that are kind of the area that have these, that use them. And the city says maybe they do, when we need to do, they have access to that kind of equipment. But I've done a little bit of research on this just in the last few days, just to get myself up to speed exactly how they work
Councilor Leo.
Question 2. I have concern with the operating cost of this piece of equipment. We've got no ideas, but if we do rent it for a month, then I guess we could find that out, right? How much it would cost to keep this running?
Yeah.
The
for sure.
cost. Is it $500 a day? Is it $400 a day? Like,
The unit I'm looking at, either rent or purchase, is the proposal, has 140 gallon USDI equipment. And it's suggested in the work
okay. My other question is, Your Worship, you're going to Good Road? You're going to Good Roads?
Yeah.
It would be probably a good place to look this kind of stuff up, right? They got all kinds of stuff there from municipalities. Would it be worthwhile? Check that out.
Since this is directed at me, let me answer it my way. I think that we have a lot of residents right now that are without water, and I don't think we're in a situation that we can wait much longer, as if to wait 2 or 3 weeks or a month.
No, Your Worship, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying go ahead and rent it for a month, but
Okay.
not purchasing it right away until he finds out more about. I'm okay with the rental for a month,
Okay.
but for outright purchasing right now, I'd rather we do a little bit more homework. Maybe in Toronto at these these booths there. There's all kinds of booths. I'm sure you're gonna love it, and don't overspend, but I'm sure you'll have to come back to council with.
Okay.
That's my.
Annie, boy, you're not getting far.
Any other questions? Yes, Councilor.
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship. Just on your recommendation, you're also requesting budget pre-approval for purchase. Is that in your budget?
The resolution is seeking pre-approval.
I know, but is it in the budget?
It will be seeking pre-approval.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Dumb question. Thank you.
So to continue this conversation or this question, where in the budget would that come from?
We could either budget through, we're going to review, we've had some significant changes to our budget lately. This is one of them. The community center with the ammonia leak is another one. So managers are all aware that they may need to go back and revisit their lists and maybe take out something that, they'd really like to have, but maybe we'll need to wait for another year. So we're going through that exercise next week.
So what we're saying here then is that this is not a possible addition to what we're budgeting for, but will be included within those numbers.
At this point, I couldn't fully answer that because it'll depend on how strongly they feel that they want to present their budgets to you. I may not be able to quite convince them to back stuff out just yet. But we do have money in reserves if council wishes to do that. Council's aware that every year we put 50% of our surplus to the reserve fund for assessment appeals. We should revisit that this year. And we also put 50% for infrastructure. So we can certainly use that.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. So, yes, Councilor.
Question: where are we going to vote on?
We're going to vote on approve the rental of 1 month, and then further be pre-approve the purchase of the ground heater unit at discretion of Public Works Superintendent at a later date.
So through the chair, what that will do, Councillor Liliev, is address your concerns, where if Mr. Barnes goes to OGRA and finds something that's more suitable, then he may not purchase the item that he's looking at now. He may find something that's, once you start talking to vendors, that they may be more suitable, maybe cheaper, maybe more, and they have to come back.
So that, through the chair, So that means he doesn't have to come back to council if we sign this?
Only if it exceeds what's in the report. So we could certainly put that amount on the resolution, not to exceed
82.
Don't
the
rush.
80,000.
82, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
concerned about that.
I got it.
So through the chair, I just wonder if, Mr. Burns, if you can express on behalf of council appreciation to your staff on Margaret's commentary that you're short-staffed and you're working hard. And I think all of us appreciate, and it needs to be said, so if you can extend that to your staff. that'd be-
So moved by Councilor O'Donnell, seconded by Councilor Liev. Resolved that council is in receipt of Administration Report Number PW 2018-04, submitted by Randy Barnes, Public Works Superintendent, regarding purchase/lease of ground heater. And be it further resolved that upon conclusion of council's review and consideration, direct staff as follows. Council approves renting the ground heater for 1 month, and further pre-approve the purchase of the ground heater unit at the discretion of the Public Works Superintendent up to a maximum of $82,446.72. All in favor? Opposed? None? Carried. So move on to item number 1404, brought forward by Councilor Liev.
Through the chair, my concern over that was, did we get any reasoning why the housing board is moving?
Did we get, sorry?
Notification, reasoning why they are moving.
I'll just read what the township has received. Directed to Ms. Margaret Hartling, Clerk, CEO. Office rental, 1 Mississauga Drive, Manitowoc, Ontario. The Manitowoc Municipal Housing Corporation currently rents office space located in Manitowoc Municipal Building. We hereby provide notice that we will be vacating this space effective March 31st, 2018, and that is the notice that we've received.
Through the chair, I did contact Rita Labbe, the manager of municipal housing, and I did ask her, and I was given 2 reasons. One was the Ontario Works office is relocated to the hospital environment, so they felt that that was a better fit for them, and the second was that our office hours were not conducive to their clients, although we were never approached to amend them or even to discuss what our office hours were. So we were given no opportunity to amend that, rectify it, resolve it.
Any other questions or comments? No. Okay. Item number 15, motion and notice of motion. Just answer before we read it. Yeah. So we have a motion from Councilor O'Donnell. We need a mover and a seconder. And we need a seconder. Ask again, we need a seconder. No seconder, so the motion is not moving forward. Item number 16, closed session. Moved by Councilor Rule, seconded by Councilor Dunno. Whereas Section 239 in bracket 4 of the Municipal Act 2001 SO 2001 C25 provided that before holding of a meeting or part of a meeting that is to be closed to the public, a municipality or local board or committee of either of them shall state by resolution the fact of holding of the closed meeting and the general nature of the matter to be considered at the closed meeting. So there are 4. Now therefore be it resolved that this meeting is hereby closed to the public as the subject matter being discussed falls under the following sections. Item 1, Section 239 in bracket 2, bracket E, litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunal affecting the municipality or local board. Litigation update, Suncor. Item number 2, Section 239 in bracket 2, bracket C, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board. Excuse me, rail bed. Item number 3, Section 239 in bracket 2, bracket C, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board. Offer to purchase 38 Nebig Avenue. Item 4, Section 239 in bracket 2, bracket B, personal matter about identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employee. CEO, clerk, treasurer, performance review update. All in favor? Opposed? None carried. The yellow sheets, please. Yellow sheet, please.
It's still on.
Confidential.
What's wrong?
Stay here.
Remind me on it to sign this before you.
Okay.
Are you here tomorrow morning?
I'm here tomorrow morning,
Okay.
and we have some spare time for lunch.
Yeah.